The WWE has seen a lot of changes and cancellations that always ended up changing the course of history. So today we'll take a look at the top 10 recent canceled events, storylines, and other outside the ring related things. Starting with number 10, Finn Balor as the face of Monday Night Raw. Finn Balor signed with WWE back on May 15th, 2014, and just a little over 2 years later, he was making his Monday Night Raw main roster debut. And Finn's debut wasn't some ordinary and simple debut where WWE had no idea what to do with him. It was actually the exact opposite. It seemed like WWE was strongly behind Finn Balor and ready to launch him to the moon right away. During his first night on Raw, Finn Balor scored a pinfall victory over Roman Reigns. And sure, that wasn't the tribal chief version of Roman Reigns, but even in summer of 2016, it was still a massive deal to pin Roman Reigns. And in the weeks that followed his impressive Raw debut, Finn Balor was still being heavily featured and highlighted. WWE had him advance to the finals of the Universal Title Tournament, and they even spent a lot of time introducing Finn Balor's alter ego, the Demon, to the Monday Night Raw audience in great detail. The immediate push for Finn Balor to be the new face of Monday Night Raw concluded at SummerSlam when he became the first ever Universal Champion. And if you froze the time right there in that moment, it was clear that Finn Balor was set to be the new massive face of Monday Night Raw, and well on his way of having a long great reign as the first ever Universal Champion. But that trajectory for Finn would be cancelled due to a shoulder injury that took place in the same match that he won the title. He would have to relinquish the title just 24 hours later and never won a world title again on the main roster ever since then. Number 9, the WWE Hacker. The WWE Hacker was first teased in early 2020 on SmackDown. The SmackDown broadcast would often get temporarily hacked by someone who was trying to get a message across. The teasers continued for several months until the Hacker finally revealed themselves in a room surrounded by cameras and monitors. The one memorable thing that the Hacker did during his run was make the big reveal to Mandy Rose that her best friend, Sonya Deville, was plotting against her the entire time they were together. And from that point on, the WWE Hacker would go on to tease that he wasn't even close to being finished, and how there were so many superstars in WWE who were being fake and phony to each other. It was never confirmed by WWE, but fans theorized that someone probably turned their back on the Hacker, and it led them to go down this route of warning other superstars who were dealing with liars disguised as best friends. The Hacker showed that he had even more monitors that were keeping an eye on all WWE superstars. He was teasing his next big shocking reveal before suddenly disappearing from WWE television. This character and story was allegedly cancelled because of Vince McMahon reportedly rejecting every single idea that WWE creative had for the Hacker. So he was ultimately scrapped with no explanation. Ollie later admitted to being the Hacker on a random edition of Raw over a year later, but no further mentions of the Hacker was ever made again. Number 8, Liv Morgan and Lana's romance storyline. Rusev, Lana, and Bobby Lashley's love triangle storyline was getting a lot of time on WWE television during this era, and at the same time, a lot of hype was being built around Liv Morgan's return. Liv had spent several months going completely off the grid and slowly teasing her new look and character on social media. Liv's teases led to several insane fan theories, even one popular one of Liv possibly being involved with Bray Wyatt's Firefly Funhouse. But in the final weeks of 2019, WWE started to air these vignettes of Liv Morgan in a bathroom and how she was really being born again. And the payoff of those return vignettes was Liv Morgan interrupting Lana and Bobby Lashley's wedding during the last Raw of 2019, admitting her love for Lana. But that pretty much was it for the entire story. Lana and Liv were still lightly involved with each other in the weeks that followed, but absolutely zero story progression was added to the storyline after that first initial night of the wedding. Number 7. Jon Moxley versus Nia Jax. During the final months of Jon Moxley's WWE contract, it seemed like one embarrassing storyline after the other was coming Moxley's way once it was clear that he wasn't re-signing with WWE. One of the storylines included Jon Moxley feuding with Nia Jax. The feud was featured and hinted at on Raw, and a match between Nia and Moxley was even advertised for a live event around the same time as well. And considering how things were being booked for Moxley at the time, it seemed like Nia Jax could have had a real shot at pinning Moxley clean in a match. The feud was cancelled reportedly because WWE didn't want to accidentally give Jon Moxley a lot of momentum for his free agency by burying him that hard in the final months of WWE. Number 6. Finn Balor's rope snap. During Finn Balor's first premium live event back on the main roster after his second run in NXT, Finn found himself facing off against Roman Reigns for the Universal title. Roman didn't pin Demon Finn cleanly. Instead, the top rope mysteriously snapped while Finn was standing on it, and Roman picked up the win. The story and feud didn't continue after the match, and the rope snapping was never explained. Number 5. Alexa Bliss and Bray Wyatt's cancellation. The duo of Alexa and Bray was one of WWE's highlights during the Thunderdome era. Everything that happened there during those early days of the storyline was very interesting and spiked everyone's interest, but the storyline concluded at WrestleMania 37 with Alexa Bliss betraying The Fiend for no apparent reason at all. The split was never properly explained. Bray would go on to disappear from WWE television after that before being released from the company. Number 4. Brock Lesnar versus The Rock at WrestleMania 30. The Rock competed at WrestleMania 28 and 29, and according to many reports, The Rock was even supposed to compete for a third consecutive year at WrestleMania by taking on Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 30. The match was cancelled due to how banged up The Rock was from his last few WWE matches at the time. And WWE would go on to change Brock Lesnar's WrestleMania 30 opponent to The Undertaker, which of course ended with Brock snapping Undertaker's WrestleMania streak. So if The Rock versus Brock Lesnar happened at WrestleMania 30, chances are that The Undertaker streak had a chance of staying intact for the remainder of his career. Number 3. John Cena's heel turn. After rising to the top of WWE, John Cena never turned heel at all. There were rumors that a heel turn for John Cena was being heavily considered during his early days of feuding with The Rock in 2011 and 2012. However, those plans were cancelled because John Cena was putting up some historic numbers with the Make-A-Wish Foundation and other outside of the ring activities that required him to be a babyface. So that turn was scrapped. Number 2. The Big Dog Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns had a lot of success with his babyface persona, but in 2020, Roman felt like he had peaked with that persona and figured it was time to scrap it and try something new. So during his time away from WWE during the pandemic, Roman had lots of time to think things over, and that's when Vince McMahon, Paul Heyman, and Roman himself came up with the Tribal Chief persona. And as the last several years have shown us, canceling the Big Dog in favor of the Tribal Chief completely changed not only Roman's career, but it changed everything for WWE. Number 1. WWE's canceled amusement park. Back in 2017, Fortrek, an international entertainment design firm known for its work on Islands of Adventure's Port of Entry, released a publication showcasing some of their recent work at the time. And in that publication was some work that WWE had requested for them. WWE had the company design several concept art for a WWE-related theme park and how the rides would look following the theme of wrestling. Fortrek released some of the concepts that they came up with including a roller coaster held up by John Cena, a robotic ride that takes place inside a wrestling ring, and much more. The company said that the ride ideas they came up with would work with an outdoor or indoor setting. The location of these WWE branded attractions was reportedly set to be built at Orlando, Florida, home of WWE's Performance Center, and home of several more worldwide known family theme parks. There's been no updates to the WWE Amusement Park plans over the last few years, but with rumors still circulating about a physical WWE Hall of Fame center being built in Orlando in the future, fans theorize that maybe we could see some of those rides and attractions inside the future Hall of Fame center. But let us know which WWE cancellation was the most surprising to you. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.